friends and amigos, my name is Jesus Gallimore, and thank you once again for checking out a new video on my YouTube channel. For today and today's topic, it will be a two-part video. It will discuss playing single-stroke rolls going to paradiddles in a one-to-one exchange. So, to make it more clear, you play whatever single-stroke roll that you want to play, and then you immediately go to the paradiddle, and then you go back and forth and back and forth. So before we begin, excuse me, a small little disclaimer. I actually recorded this video last week, but because I have a poverty camera in this GoPro, it only records about 15-16 minutes, and then it stops, and then it automatically does another video. And so what happened was that this lesson was actually going to be 20 minutes long, but the first video was 18 minutes, if I remember correctly. And then the other half was like about 2-3 minutes to finish the whole thing. So I was like, man, what's going on here? So we had that issue, and then I tried messing around with a video editing software to put it together, and I was able to do that, but and then they had a watermark. So I was like, bruh, come on, man, come on. So either way, the silver lining to all this shenanigans was that I was able to process and think more of the exercise. So in this two-parter, I want to focus on the single stroke for this video, and then the next video we're just gonna put it all together. Okay, so the preliminary exercises of this video are as follows. You're gonna be having a inverted double stroke accenting on the downbeat. You're gonna have an inverted triple stroke where you're gonna be accenting every third note. So it's gonna be like it's pretty much gonna sound like a dotted quarter note. And then finally, you're gonna have another stroke added to the dotted one, so it's gonna be a half note sticking, and it's gonna accent every 4 notes. Okay, so let me demonstrate that one for you. So the inverted one, which would be basically you're basically playing the downbeat on every quarter. So the sticking is gonna be right, left. Sorry about that. Right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right. Basically, it's gonna be an inverted It's gonna be an inverted double stroke, but you're accenting every downbeat. So it would sound something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. The second exercise, the dotted one, is gonna sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And then finally, the last exercise, the half note one, is going to sound something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so once you get comfortable with those 3 exercises, what you want to do is speed it up. At least to the point where you're comfortable, not to the point where like you're killing yourself and your muscles are all tense and you're just about to give up. So for example, a comfortable tempo for me would be something around this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. demonstrate it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. You could also play it backwards, like this. Now we're at 3s. Now 2. Alright? So, with that exercise, it will allow you to cycle through all 3. Of course, you have the 2 options of just going from the first one to the 3rd, but I also highly recommend going backwards. Just keep switching between the 3. So, the inverted, or the quarter note, the dotted, the half note, back to the dotted, back to the quarter. Keep going between all 3. Because what that does is that it allows you to work on your fluidity, and it allows you to work on your transition from playing all 3, one to the other, okay? And by playing the exercise both ways, it offers you to go between the 3 rates pretty much seamlessly. So, with that being said, before we go to the other set, is the elephant in this room, okay? So, if you were noticing when I was playing these exercises, you saw that I was pretty much whipping my hands or doing a motion, pretty much whipping my hands, okay? So, basically, the technique that I was using is, or at least it's a modification of the molar stroke. To me, before I explain the molar stroke and things like that, when I think of techniques like the molar stone, Nicolad stone, or whatever technique that other people are teaching, to me it's just a means to the end. When I play a technique, what I care about and what everyone should care about is what musical results are coming out of it and how do I feel. Because if you're playing a technique just because it looks cool but you sound awful and you feel miserable, it will do you no good. So, to continue, the molar stroke, it's, to me, I conceptualize it or I internalize it as just basically a whipping motion. If I use my sticks, and then if I start adding the extra strokes, that's how I think about it. I think about it as a wave in the beach. When you see a wave of water just going up and then crashing down and then going back up. Now, of course, there's other intricacies to it. For example, when you start pulling out accents and you start pulling out notes, and that is something that is very important also to figure out. When it comes to pulling out accents and stuff like that, basically there's a couple of strokes involved, or in general, it's a pretty intricate system the way that I think about it. You have the full stroke. Excuse me. You see how I whip, and then it goes back up. The downstroke, where it stays down. Then you have the tap, and then you got the upstroke. So full, down, tap, up. Okay? So basically that's how I conceptualize this technique. I think of it as a wave of energy, and then once you feel like you have a good idea of the motion, then you could start thinking about the strokes, the rebound strokes, and how all that shenanigans happen. So in this case, for example, the inverted paradiddle, what you're doing is a downstroke up, or down, tap, down, tap, down, tap, down, tap, down, tap, down, tap, down. When you're doing the dotted notes or the inverted triplets, it's down, tap, up, down, tap, up, down, tap, up, down, tap, up, down, tap. Sorry, down, tap, up, 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 down. Excuse me, sorry about that. And then of course, you add an extra tap note to the half note. So down, tap, tap, up, down, tap, tap, up, down, tap, tap, up, down, tap, tap, up, down. Okay? So that's the idea behind using the molar technique to this exercise. Now, for part 2, we're going to deal with adding single strokes. Because remember, this is a 2-part video, and there's single strokes. It's not just playing one hand and shifting and shenanigans. Okay? So what's happening is that you're going to be adding a single stroke of your other hand every time you're on the downstroke or you're on the up. So for example, if this is the quarter note one, the quarter inverted, you're going to play a single. And effectively, you're playing this rhythm. Let's start building that and continuing with the dotted quarter note or the inverted triplet or triple stroke, excuse me. So down, down, single, single, 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 down, single, single. And if you notice, I'm using the molar motion that I showed you before. And then, of course, it also continues with the half note as well. So, and we speed it up. There we go. So, a couple of things. Once you start speeding up this exercise, your motion is going to drastically reduce. And at least to me, when I start reducing, I really start thinking about my hands a lot. Like a lot of the action is not going to be, oh, you're whipping or like you're barely going to be like doing any motion. I mean, just enough to generate the stroke, to generate the accent, and then everything else, like the single strokes after the accent, is pretty much, at least to me, the way that I've developed it is down to the fingers. Okay? So, like we did with the preliminary exercises, now we could get these singles and play it the same way. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Beginning. 3, 4. And of course, once you go down, go backwards, go back up. Instead of going back to the beginning, go to the middle. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. That's a great way, like I mentioned before, of going through the rates in a different order as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is it, guys. That is part 1 of this exercise. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please, when you get the chance, like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with others, leave comments. If you guys need any help with this topic or any other topic, feel free to send me a message. I'll be glad to answer it and to help out to the best of my abilities. Thank you so much. Once again, please like, subscribe, share, comment. Follow me on my social media pages. I have an Instagram, jg.drums. I have a Facebook fan page, Jesus Gallimore Drums. I have a website, WordPress, jesus.gallimore.wordpress.com, which very soon it will be defunct. I'll be making a brand new website from top to the bottom. And guys, those are the channels that you could reach me. So thank you once again for checking this out. Have a great day. Keep safe and practice hard to become a better drummer. More importantly, a better musician, and even more important, to become a better person. Thank you so much. See you for part 2 very soon.